podcast, we talked about the how sliding is now and what it is like now. But today, we're going to be talking about how sliding got to what it is right now.
In sliding into the past.
In the history of sliding. As you can tell, I'm joined with Complex over there.
Hello.
Yes.
As always.
Yes. Someday. And before we start out, I would like to give a shout out to May Kinsey, who said first view and first comment. Yes, that's the only other comment besides Complex commenting on it. So make sure to comment on the video. And then it was replied by Complex. He said, "Good job."
Good job indeed, though.
Okay.
That's my
great. Okay. Well, we're going to move into the first sliding gear. Now, when sliding started out, the gear was very simple. It was kind of just them taking what they could get that they could rub on the floor so that they could move.
Right. It wasn't much.
Yeah, they basically they had duct tape on their hands. They'd get you get a glove and you'd wrap duct tape around all the fingers.
First guy said he'd work or leather gloves. I think biking gloves.
Mechanical gloves or welder gloves. I know one of them used.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and they wrap the duct tape around it, and then as you slide, the heat from the friction actually hardens it into a shell, and you just keep adding it on until it's a hard shell.
It's and then you got the hard shell, and you rub it on the ground. It takes a really long time,
right?
But it gets you the hard shell. And I know that in fact some sliders
still use that. Right?
Yeah, because it's they get more control.
Right,
from
since it's a little bit more friction, so you can stop easier and things. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you can control your slides more than the modern technology, which we'll get into. Yeah, we'll get into that later. And then the boots, they weren't even special.
Sliding. Right, they literally just took old boots that nobody was using and then just shredded them.
They're just no one's using this. You know, just gone.
Sandpaper them down.
Concrete, basically, right. it's just gone.
Yep. Right, used them until they were unusable because they are rubbing them into concrete until they're a paste.
Yeah, and then the knee pads, which are the most expensive now, but they were even more expensive back then. If you didn't use in the early days, they would get the fabric and the cheesecloth that hung on the walls.
Right, and then just use that, but of course it just tore through that.
It just tore through it, and they'd be just rip through their jeans. And yeah, so some of them would use knee pads, but there weren't recaps.
I think they used old skateboarding and things, knee pads, because that's all that they could get, and that was fairly better than just cloth.
Yeah, they're these little knee pads, but they're basically cloth. So they had those, and then some of them would use the catcher knee pads, and those would work great,
but they'd still fall apart after the a week or whatever it was.
Yeah, and they'd fall apart, and when those wear out, you can't just go over and buy some recaps. They're $20, but you'd have to buy a whole new catcher knee pads.
I think since we were watching Sliders of Ghosttown Origins, and so in there they said that if you did that, then you would spend your whole salary on the sliding gear because you wore through it, and then you'd have to go buy more.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Sliders of Ghosttown, make sure to check them out. We got all of most, if not all, of our information
from that video,
Yeah, so I would recommend checking that out. I will put the link in the description, and it does swear a few times, but I might put a clean version in the description,
depending on if we will get copyrighted and sued. Get flagged.
So now we're going to talk about, we had the sliding gear, how it was, and now we're going to talk about how it improved and why they made those improvements. So, starting off with the duct tape gloves, they changed out the duct tape gloves for metal because duct tape, it's duct tape. It's
still gonna get torn through.
Yeah, and it's very resistive. The goal is to go as far as possible. That's what you're trying to do. So the metal, it gives you less of that, so you can go farther, which is why they preferred it more, even though some of them just kept the duct tape so they can keep the
control, yeah.
Yeah. But then they changed to the metal so that they could go farther, which, I mean, that's what I did. So great, yep. I like going farther.
Right, and it makes a cooler sound, I think.
Yes, I mean, like
scarier sound.
Scarier, and that's what we're going. That's what they're all for in the end. And then the fabric. I feel like the knee pads changed.
Right. Because they were able to get like better knee pads and like obviously like recaps, which are a whole lot cheaper and better to get.
Yeah, and they improved a lot. Like once they got like the knee pads, like the kind that I used or that Complex used, they have recaps which are like if the sliders of old could see the recaps, they'd be like, "You mean I don't need to buy a whole new pair of Catcher knee pads?"
Right. Every 2 days. Because I wear them in a week.
Yeah, I mean, it's $20, but Catcher knee pads cost more than that. So, I mean, it's just amazing that you can do that. Mm-hmm. And then the boots, I feel like if this is not the biggest change, it was the knee pads, but these changed like completely from just wearing through boots to actually putting something on there.
Right, because they obviously and it's exactly what we did, just like tear out the steel toes from some old steel toe boots and just glue those on top of your other boots or shoes or whatever you're using, and then you have steel instead of just cloth and rubber and whatever else.
Yeah, because metal wears out slower
if you didn't fabric. Know that.
I mean, just in case you didn't.
That out
it
there.
Goes real. Oh, you can go for a while like that. You won't need, I mean, like, what you're worried about is the knee pads, not the shoes. Like, I feel like earlier, before they had all this, it's not like you're worried about your knee pads wearing out. You're worried about everything wearing out. It's like you're going to be sliding like, oh, it's gone. Dang it. Well, because I got nothing left.
For us, the only thing that's, going to wear out fairly quickly is the knee pads because that's plastic and not metal, whereas, like, our gloves and our shoes are metal. So they don't wear out.
Yeah, and
as quickly.
I like when they don't wear out as quickly because you can use them for a very long time. Like I know some of the sliders, they use them like for an entire year before replacing their gloves.
Right, and
yeah, amazing.
Never mind.
Yeah,
we'll get down there.
And now we're gonna talk about. Moving on from that, we're gonna talk about why people slid in the first place. Like why are you doing that? Why don't you just get a nice thunder jug and run out and go wah?
Right. And I believe that was because, it was a new scaring tactic and it got a different scare out of people is a big reason. And also because a lot of, like, the smaller actors, it was hard to get, like, these, like, scare these, like, big brutes that were walking around.
It's hard to scare someone that's bigger than you. It's like, oh, never mind, you're more scared than I am.
Right. It's like, I'm just going to go the other way.
It's like, if you can't scare him by getting higher, might as well scare him for going for the knees.
Right.
Go for the shins.
When you hear the awful sound of metal on concrete coming at you at high speeds, and, it kind of makes you jump.
When you see people coming at you very quickly for your toes, it's pretty scary.
For them toe.
They want to get the toes. It's like, no, my precious toes. It's pretty scary.
Right.
So in fact, some of the, I think... And then after that, even the bigger guys use that because, it gets different scares out of people. Like, everyone's already seen the old thunder jug. They've already seen all those, jumping out of a corner.
And so this was new and different, and it definitely, like, got a different scare, and it was, it's fun to watch.
And the best part is you don't even need to be hiding. Like, most of these scares, you have to hide. This one, you don't even need to hide. You come out there, you're not even hiding. You're not even popping out of nowhere. You're just coming at them, and you'll still scare them. Yeah.
Right. And I mean, sure, sometimes you still kind of come out of nowhere because it's like, where did that person start sliding?
Oh, no, it came out of nowhere. But when you get sliding, of course, where it originated not, they're like, I think we should do something about this because, the first year, the people who started, they're like, man, this is awesome. I love all these slider stuff.
Right.
Yeah. They go out and buy the slider gear. And then just get hurt. They don't know how to do it.
I guess there's a few things that why people might not like either they quit from it because like it's definitely like a hard thing to do. It's a big workout.
Yeah,
like,
you need practice.
Like, going for like half an hour. It's hard to do because it's a lot of jumping and running, and and you have like all the extra weight from all that metal and things. And other than that, it's hard to control sometimes, and you get going fast, and you get into it, and you forget like, oh, there's people there.
Oh, dang it!
Right. And they would run into the crowds and hit people, and that's kind of a problem.
It's bad to hit people. Like, I don't want to get sued.
Right. So, and then Knott's made the rule where you had to do a year of street acting first, and then they also have like a sliding test, which I'm not exactly sure what that entails.
I have looked up sliding tests, and I cannot find anything. It's a secret. You have to try.
You have to figure out when you go.
I'll figure out when I'm 18.
I guess my guess would be that you have to like show that you have a good amount of control over your slides and
stop at any time.
Yeah,
I'm assuming that. And with the sliding, actually, yep, I think I said everything.
We got through everything.
Yep. Is there anything else you want?
No.
Okay, then we are going to head into game time right now. Okay, Johnny. John, this is your cue. You have one job, John. Just press the button. Oh my goodness, Johnny.
John.
Okay.
John, what are you doing?
Well,
one job, John.
Well, we're gonna fire Johnny, but before we do that, you're going first.
I mean, we'll give him another chance. Anyway, okay. Well, I go first on the questions. So question 1. What style did somebody come up with for having more comfortable, like, wearing the knee pads?
Wearing the knee pads. Okay. So what they did was they took the, because normally people would wear them, they just put the knee pads over their jeans, but he was like, that doesn't feel very good. So what he did was he cut a hole in his jeans and then put the knee pads on some tights that they're wearing, and then the knee pads just went through the hole.
That is correct.
Yay.
Okay, fine, never mind. Okay. Question 2. How long has sliding been going on for?
Dang it. Oh, no, gotta count this. Oh, I hate numbers. Okay. So if it started in 1973... Oh, boy.
Should have given this a time limit.
Oh, no.
10 seconds.
What? Fine. That's 43.
43?
I just gave up on counting.
4 years off. It's 47 years.
47. That's a long time. Sliding is old.
All right.
Just going to cut out some of that time.
Just going to cut out like 20 seconds. Question 3. What was the very first sliding like what did they do? How was it to be the first generation slider?
How was it what was the first technique that they used for sliding before sliding? Dang it, this is one of my questions.
Okay. That depends on the answer to your question because
first slide.
Well,
baseball slide.
Well, I'm sorry, that is incorrect. They would jump out of bushes.
Oh, they did baseball slides before they went out of bushes.
Right, but I mean sliding where you
sliding.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
okay,
that's
and then kind of riding off the shoulders of that question.
Dang, well, now you know one of my questions.
Okay, the first sliders used blank to slide.
The first sliders
slide out of the bushes.
Slider cans.
Correct. That you have 2 questions so far.
2 questions,
and that was question 4. So you have
dang it.
one more chance.
Oh boy.
What started the slider shows at Knott's Berry Farm?
So they before the hanging show, which was the main show, they would do a pre-show before because they're like, what dumb stuff can we do in front of an audience? I mean, it's your sliders, you could do anything, and they'll love it. And then they did cool tricks and stuff. And then that kind of evolved into the shows.
That is correct.
Yay!
The only thing I would have added is that they were trying to warm up the crowd.
Oh yeah,
anyway, yep. But you got 3 points, so that will turn over to your questions now. So
3 points. Okay, I'm a little nervous now. Okay. Where did the original auditioning process occur?
I'm gonna say at like Monster College or whatever it was.
What Monster College? Okay, how about this? I'm gonna
like Knott's Berry Farm.
Like when they started, like when sliding, like.
I guess I'm just confused on the question. Okay.
So, when they started, sliding, they, as they described it, in the show,
right.
Where did it occur? Like after they did the thing where they took it, like once they did general audience, like anyone can do it. Where did it happen?
Like, where did the
auditioning process happening when it was open to the general audience? Like anyone could do it.
I don't know.
I'll give you a hint. It's on Knott's Berry Farm.
It's not?
I'll give you a hint. It's at Knott's Berry Farm.
Ghosttown?
It was the Good Time Theater.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna guess that, so.
Oh, okay, well.
There
Moving goes on. This is a question that you're never gonna guess ever. What did people do to slide before sliding was ever a thing, like even before slider cans?
Now, where would I get this question from? Just a random guess. I'm gonna say like baseball sliding.
Wow, I'm gonna put a big check right there. I wonder how you got that.
Wonder how.
Yeah. Okay, what are the two types of sliding?
The two types of sliding. What?
The two types of sliding. Like. Yeah, I'm just hoping that you're not gonna understand.
Not gonna understand. Well, there's like sliding, like you slide on the ground, and then there's.
And they're all related to like Knott's Berry Farm. We're not talking about hamburgers.
Oh, dang it.
Like two types of sliding.
Those are my favorite kind of sliders.
What?
No, I'm just kidding.
So,
anyway, I guess sliding, like, you got, like, some knee pads and some shoes with steel on them.
Okay.
And then you got gloves with some steel on them.
Would you like to receive the answer?
Then you slide across the ground.
You're going to be super upset when you learn the answer.
And then they're sliding, like, you jump people and then slide on the ground. No, what's the answer?
So there's scaring sliding and there's, like, doing trick shows.
Those are two different types. Fine, all right. Whatever. One question right.
Now, in order to at least tie with me, we're going to have it in order to not lose.
I need to get these next two questions right.
Yes.
That's probably not going to happen. All right, well, let's
do where did slider... This is a question that you also had. Where did slider tricks start? Yep. Mm-hmm.
Where did slider tricks start? Oh, like at the pre-shows?
Yeah, maybe. Okay.
Pre-shows to the hanging show, which was the main show.
Okay.
Okay, come on. Let's hope this is a question that I can get.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm having trouble reading my notes. This is not from the show.
Oh.
Good thing I said most in the beginning.
Goodbye, having a chance to tie. What's the question?
Well, what is the most people, as far as you can research, what is the most people that someone has ever jumped? Like, they're sliding and then they jump over a certain amount of people.
Oh, you, like, jump over? I thought you meant, like jumped, like, you scared them. Okay.
Oh, no, like, so they're all lined up and you jump over them. What is the most people that someone has jumped over?
I'm going to say, like, 11?
How in the world?
I think I remember you talking.
It's 11! Oh, my goodness.
I remember you talking about that at some point.
Oh, man, dang it.
Like... just being like, I think, like, the most people ever was like 11 people.
Dang it. Well,
tie.
Now we have a tie, so there's no winners. Well, make sure to check out Sliders of Ghosttown, link in the description, and maybe a clean version in the description.
Hopefully. Maybe.
Hopefully.
Perhaps.
Don't want to get sued. Gonna try to do that. Make sure to check out Complex, his channel.
If I maybe ever get a video out.
Hopefully. And again, shout out May Kidney, first view and comment. Make sure to lay down a comment if you want to get shout out, because it's not that hard. There's only was 2.
And please hit the red button down below.
See you later. Bye.